Here we go. Hey, what's up, everybody? Jazzbro Gonzo here. Another What's Next weekend edition. I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while. I'm going to do a triple story video today for you. 3 stories. 1, of course, your typical leftist basically throws the unvaxxed, yes, you dirty Americans, under the bus once again and says the death of the unvaxxed is your choice. Could MSNBC really fire Joy Reid? And another conservative gets banned from the Twatterverse. Let's take a look. This comes out of Breitbart. Story number 1. David Korn. COVID deaths are basically deaths of choice by the unvaxxed. Yes, you dirty, dirty Americans. Mother Jones Washington Bureau Chief David Korn said on Friday, MSNBC, The Beat, that no one watches, that the COVID-19 deaths of the unvaxxed were deaths of choice. Korn said, quote, "We're not all the way there, but it is a tremendous accomplishment with the economy and everyone else, not just Joe Dementia. We've got a long way back. Labor market is tight. Good news. People who are working because some wages are going up, and some people able to quit their jobs in order to find better jobs. Yes, you know, because even though we have an overwhelming abundance of labor out there, you still have people so effing lazy, they won't look for a job." You don't say. So in all, I think that the economic picture is not fantastic. It's actually poor, in my opinion, but it's much better than it was a year ago. No, it wasn't. And you could say the same thing about the COOF. We used to have a problem with COOF, but far fewer deaths, and deaths are basically deaths almost of choice, people who are the unvaxxed. Host? Wow. Korn continued, if you are vaxxed, you know you're much less of a risk today. Schools are largely open in most places. Businesses are largely open. There are some more restrictions that we don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 months. But by and large, we're a much better place than we were a year ago. You know, I have some sympathy for Joe Dementia and the White House because I don't think they're getting a lot of credit. Actually, they deserve none. Part of the larger narrative, especially up against the Trump bizarre cult. Yes, of course, let's continue to throw the former president under the bus who hasn't been in the White House going on a year. Yeah. Of course, let's blame Fox also. Others saying that we're basically going off the cliff right now. I'm calling bullshit on that. Let's go. Story number 2. This comes from Outkick. Would MSNBC really fire Joy Reid? No. The race lady? The open and honest race lady who sees everything through a prism of racism and, you know, and patriarchy and whiteness? Let's read. No pun intended. Would MSNBC actually fire Joy Reid, the racist and homophobic host of the 7 p.m. hour? According to Joe Nicosia, the former editor of Mediaite, that's the plan. Nicosia reported on January 6th, oh, the irony, that a Comcast source told them that MSNBC has decided that it will take Reid's primetime show away from her by springtime. As it was the case with Cuomo, and this was his tweet at CNN, Reid has allies at Comcast. However, she is now viewed as unmanageable by many. Also, similar to Fredo, it appears that those allies have found out she's been less truthful about past incidences. More to come. Oh my. The news then trended online Thursday, trailing only words like terrorists, insurrectionists, whiteness, and Ted Cruz. MSNBC called the report bogus. So what's going on here? First, MSNBC, or like Mark Levin likes to call MSLSD, which probably fits them better, publicly denying that the plans to demote or fire a sitting host means little. A network would not confirm a move months out, especially since if it said nothing, the media industry would interpret a no comment as confirmation anyway, because that's what the left-wing media does. So MSNBC's denial doesn't mean anything. Networks lie. They hire PR reps for the sole purpose. However, that doesn't mean that MSLSD will go through without firing Reid. I am skeptical it will. Yeah, I'm a little iffy on that one too. There's little question that some MSLSD producers and executives, are fed up with Reid. She's toxic and treats those around her poorly. Almost like a certain comedian who's on her last legs. She also regularly embarrasses the network. Even MSNBC has some shame. Reid has exposed herself as grossly uninformed about topics she discusses. Yes, mainly about race. For example, she tried to connect Governor Ron DeSantis to a horrific child sex trafficking network last April, and of course it blew up in her face. Even though she did not have any evidence to support the claim, that's what the left-wing media does. Blame, point the fingers, attack, with no debate or facts or common sense or critical thinking or... Shall I go on? Even though she didn't have any evidence to support her claim, then there was this piece of brilliance. Here's the thing. The reason there's a thing called 538 is because 538 is the margin in Florida where the Republican SCOTUS reversed the 2000 election during a recount, making Dubba the president. That's kind of the margin where races can flip. That's not what's up now. Okay. Last, this comes out of Daily Wire. Matt Walsh suspended from Twitter over transgender tweets. Yes, he gets banned from Twitter for posting facts. The Daily Wire's host Matt Walsh on Friday night was suspended from Twitter over tweets he posted recognizing biological realities and not so-called, quote, gender identity. Quote, the greatest female Jeopardy champion of all time is a man, Walsh posted on Twitter. The tweet that the left-wing site has now censored. Quote, the top female college swimmer is a man. The first four-star admiral in the public health service is a man. Men have dominated female high school track and female MMA circuit. The patriarchy wins in the end. Yes, once again, men win at the end. Another tweet, which has also been censored by Twatter, reads, I am not referring to an individual person as if she is two people. Everyone else can run around sounding like maniacs if they want, but I will not be participating. No, thank you. Twitter has suspended Walsh for 12 hours, but the clock starts on the 12th hour ban. Once he deletes the tweets, Twitter has already censored. Walsh has about 769,000 followers on the platform. As you can see, that is the tweet there. And that is the other tweet that was pulled. Walsh has joined Fox News host Tucker Carlson soon following the ban. He got suspended on Twitter because I pointed out that biological males are men. And this, to me, is all a part of the game here. This is what leftism is. If you criticize it, they're going to shut you down because they realize that they cannot engage intellectually. The Daily Wire podcast host told Carlson. Walsh has joined Twitter's alternative platform Getter. The site got an extra boost when podcast host and mammoth Joe Rogan joined following controversial Twitter censorship. My thoughts. Story number one. David Korn is a clown. He is an absolute clown. To basically say, you dirty Americans, you unvaxxed, you bring death upon yourselves. Yeah, sounds vaguely familiar, like Joe Dementia, when he basically called the winter of illness and death, and of course Lord Farquaad tried to cancel Christmas and New Year's. Clowns are going to be clowns. Joy Reid getting fired from MSNBC, yeah, the likelihood is not good. I don't even give it a 50-50 shot, more like a 25-75 opportunity. Those are losing odds. We all know Reid is a racist. She's a flat-out racist. She sees everything through a racial prism. That is a whole shtick. She gets crushed in the ratings every single night. It doesn't matter who you put up against her. You could put up a dumpster fire, a garbage-filled dumpster fire, pour gasoline all over it, drop a grenade on it, blow it up, and it would still get better ratings than Joy Reid. Matt Walsh. I follow him. I watch him. He's very intellectual. He's very smart, witty in what he says during his commentary. Not a surprise that he got banned from the Twatterverse, because that is what they are doing. They are systematically banning them one by one by one by one. We saw what happened with, of course, initially with Alex Jones, Laura Southern, Jordan Peterson to a point. Of course, the biggest would be President Donald Trump. Like I said, most recently, Marjorie Taylor Greene, of course, Rogan, who's not conservative, but Rogan who is center left, and of course now Matt Walsh joins the ranks, and of course everybody is flooding over to Getter. Now there's a story about Getter in regards to who are they financed by? Could it be the Chi-Coms? That is a story that I kind of glanced upon, checked out a little bit. Don't know a lot of it, but I will be doing a follow-up video in regards to that, because that's not a good look if that turns out to be true. So I'll end that here. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.